welcome to Live Long in Color. I want to thank everyone for stopping by and joining me today. I also want to thank everyone who has subscribed to my videos, liked and commented. You are also greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Today's video is going to be my completed pages for the month of January 2022, and I cannot believe it's 2022 already. I cannot believe that the month of January is already over. It went by so fast. I did have a very productive month. I did a total of 79 pages. 40 of them are from physical books and 39 of them are PDF, so it's pretty even split there. However, I did color out of 16 different physical books and only 9 PDF books. So I've been trying to make a conscientious effort to color more out of my physical books and to color more out of books that I haven't colored in a while or haven't colored in at all. All that being said, let's get started. Let me move Happy out of the way. Okay, so the first book here is 100 Easy Designs. It is by Coloring Book Cafe. I did this. I used my new Faber-Castell oil pastels. I was testing them out. This is one of the pages I used. I did use Prismacolor and Polychromos to do the outlining and a little bit of shading and eyeshadow background. This is another one I did with the Faber-Castell oil pastels. I used a combination of 3 different pencils. I used Polychromos, Prismacolor, and Arteza. Eyeshadow background on the top. This here on the bottom, this I tried to make it look like soil. That is the Faber-Castell oil pastels. Okay, next we have 100 Magnificent Mandalas by Creative Mandala. Let me try to get that straight. I did 22 pages out of this. I used my new system for picking colors. I used a combination mainly of A&Art, Sioux Color, Tail Tree, and Cali Art glitter gel pens. And I'm really loving this new system because it's forcing me, or more likely allowing me, to use color combinations that I wouldn't pick. I'm not very good at picking, color combinations. And like, for the example, this one is, I use colors I would never use. And this came out. This is one of my favorites of the month of the mandalas. I also like to leave white spaces. I don't. It is very rare that I'll color every space in a mandala because I feel like it makes it too busy, I guess, and I like the contrast of the white with the other colors. So if you see a page like this where I have a bunch of different colors, that is more than likely the Sioux Color, the Tail Tree, or the Cali Art. If you see a picture like this one, this is more than likely the A&Art ones because those are grouped by color, so they're more monochromatic color scheme on those. So here are all the ones that I did. I'll try to go. I didn't do backgrounds on any of them. I just framed them in washi tape. This is one of my other favorites. I really like this one. This one was done with the A&Arts. This one, I wish I would have alternated colors here. I think the pink is too busy or too bright. I didn't like this one that much. Yeah, and I didn't like this one either. This is not my favorite style of mandala, but I still had fun doing it. I really like this one. I like this color combination. much, it's very rare that so far I've done, like this one I didn't care for. I didn't care for the colors that came out. I didn't care for the dots. I don't know. I didn't really like it. But those were really few and far between the ones that I didn't like. For the most part, all the colors that I picked randomly just by going in order in my my case came out pretty good. Here's one that I think it came out okay. These are all different colors on the pine cone looking things, except for these two. These are the same. And then this is all the silvers, and I had all these in one section. And I don't know, I'm thinking maybe on my A&R Arts I am going to go back and rearrange them so that I don't have them all bunched by color, and see what comes out doing it a different way. This one was done with A&R Arts, and I liked it. So here we go. Yeah. This one I was debated of coloring it with Valentine colors because it's clearly all hearts. But I decided to stick with my system, and I didn't mind it. I like this one. It kind of gives you a doily feeling. Lace doily. Here's another one that I probably wouldn't have picked these colors for this border section here, but I really like the way it came out. And this one, these are all the same color, but for some reason a couple of these came out darker than the other. So that's it for the 100 Magnificent Mandalas. Okay, okay. I have to laugh because this is the worst picture that I have ever colored. I think in the history of my coloring, I think this is actually the worst one. I need to explain what happened with this poor picture. This is from 40 coloring pages from Sun Life Drawing. This is what it was supposed to look like. Okay. This is what it actually came out when I was done with it. And I will explain what happened. I do a color chart that I create on the computer where I will put all the numbers, and then I will put, okay, I'm going to use this number for the Cali art, or this number for the Sharpies. I have all my Sharpies and all my permanent markers numbered, and I will go by that. What happened was I created one for Sun Life Drawing and didn't realize or didn't pay attention that this page had a different color scheme. So I used the wrong color scheme is what it boils down to. And I mean, he came out okay, I guess, if you kind of like a deer with blue ears. But and I didn't know what the picture was when I started off, so because I didn't look at the cover. But yeah, let's put him, this poor misguided Santa, and his reindeer away, never to be seen again. This is Beautiful Birds by Such and Such Diva. I did this page. I used Spree and Blick markers and chalk, Mungyo chalk background. This is By the Seashore from George Tufexis. This is a really nice book. It is a 2-for-1 book. It has By the Sea and Sea Life combined in the same book. The page that I did was from By the Sea. I used Teo Tree markers. Here's another one where I grabbed the wrong chart. I grabbed the one for Autumn Inspiration. And so when I started it, I started with this building here. So this wasn't supposed to be like a lavender and green, but actually, I don't hate it. I caught it in time that I fixed a lot of it, so it is what it is. I don't mind it. I had a lot of trouble this month sticking to the correct colors. I don't know why. This is Cactus and Succulent Coloring Book by Color Questopia. I used twistable colored pencils. On this one, I did the outlining with the fine liners from Crayola. And on this one, I just used the Bic Intensity. The problem I have with doing, I like the black better, I think. The problem I have is I had to let this sit for like 3 or 4 days to get the smell because it was, whoa, it was pretty bad. Next we have Calm by David Woodruff. I did this page. I really like it. It reminds me of that old china that you have. That's the blue and white patterns on it. I used, let's see, Sharpies and pen and gear, and I did not put a background on that. This is Chibi Girls Grayscale, 100 pages, 4-in-1, Jade Summer. I did this page. I just used Spree, Copics, Bics, and Sharpies. I used a little bit of Posca to outline in the metallic here. And then on this one, I used Spree, Copics, A&Art gel pens for the gems. I used a little bit of glitter. And I did the bandages in blue because I didn't want to do a gray or a white. And I wanted it to stand out, so I made her blue. And then I did this part like the lantern or the torch was lighting it up, so I made that yellow. Next we have Cute Cats by Such and Such Diva. I did all of these with Crayola crayons, and then I tried to outline a little bit with a similar color I used Color A and Color It pencils, and I think it helped it a little bit. It gave it a bit of a dimension. But my goal is to use crayons for this whole book, and this is one of my 10 books to finish for the year. So there's that. Here's another one of my 10 books to finish. Oh, and I didn't mention it, but my cactus one that I just did was also one of my 10 books to finish. This is Dragon Fantasy, black background by Color Questopia. I did this one. I used Spree, Blick, Pen and Gear, and twistable crayons for the background. And on this one, I used Blick, Spree, Pen and Gear, and the twistable crayons for the background. I think I'm going to use the twistable crayons for the background on all of these. It doesn't use up a lot of the marker, and I think it makes the dragon stand out a bit more. Next is Easy Coloring from Jade Summer. I did this using my Mungyo Aquarelle oil pastels. I am in love with the way that this shell came out. I used 3 different colors in doing this shell. Plus I used, what pencils did I use? Crayola pencils to shade a little bit. And then I used a brown eyeshadow to make it look like they're in the sand. And I'm really, really, really loving this picture. This one, I used various glitter gel pens to do the whole butterfly. And I think I used the Aquarelle, let me see. Yes, the Mungyo oil pastels for the background. That's why it's got a slight shimmer to it. I don't know if you can see that. Basically, Flare, Sparkle Pops, and A&Art glitter gel pens for that. Here's another of my 10 books to finish for the year, Flowers and Mandalas from, and I will show you the name because I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And I did all of these with my Teo Tree markers. I didn't put any backgrounds on any of them. I did 3 pages. So that's that. Another one of my 10 books to finish is God and Goddesses from Ava Brown. I did Hades here. I used basically Sharpie's Copic Sprees, and I used metallics. I used the Uniball Signal. I used glitter gel pens, the Sparkle Pops, I think for like the name in here. Here is Hephaestus. I used, what did I use? Sharpie Sprees, a little bit of the Divical glitter gel pen here, and that's him, a little bit of metallic here and there. And then this is Hecate, I think, Hecate or Hecate, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I will say when I'm doing these pictures, I'm not looking up any depictions of the god and goddesses. I'm not trying to make them realistic. I just look at the person and I say, okay, this is what I envision for it, because she is depicted as being very dark. She's supposed to be a witch, but I really love this color combination. I love the orangish red hair. I used Spree and Copics on this one. Really like the way she came out. Next is Happiness by Arpad Oldby. I did this one. I used Crayola pencils for that. Line Spots Dots Christmas by Kira Shershniva. This is another 10 books to finish. I did this one. I try a lot of times to do it with the dual colors, but what happens is my eyes are not that great, and when I'm trying to color up close, I don't always see where the delineation is. Like if I'm looking from far away, I can see it, but I can't always see it. But I think I did all right with this one, figuring it out. I also did this one with three different colors actually. I used HEB markers for all of these except for this. I used the Pen and Gear metallic for the bell and the ribbon. And then this cat here was HEB markers, and then this was also HEB permanent markers. Then we go to love stories, Disney love stories from Hachette Heroes. I used CaliArt water-based, the fine liner tip for all of the background, which I did in the X method. And then all the picture itself, I used Super Tips. And I did the dot method. And I did that with all of these. This one, I didn't like what they did here. It looked odd to me. I don't know why it's supposed to be white. Maybe it's I think it's her hair that she's leaning on him, but it just makes him look like he's got this weird Jimmy Durante nose or something. I don't know. I didn't like it. This is Simba and his mama, Cinderella, and Prince Charming. This is Thomas O'Malley, the Alley Cat, and I don't know what her name is. Duchess. I think he called her Duchess from the Aristocats. And Mowgli and the Little Village Girl. And that's what I did for love stories. This is Lovely Dresses by Ava Brown. I did this page. It came out okay. I'm not that crazy about it, but I'll tell you the inspiration. My husband and I go for a walk most mornings, and there's this house that has a gray exterior with this beautiful red door. I love the way that house looks. They have a beautiful wreath on the door, but I couldn't. I'm not a draw. I'm not an artist. I don't know how to draw, so I didn't put a wreath there. But that was the inspiration for this. Next is Mindfulness by David Woodruff. I did this page. I used Sharpies, and I was really happy because I didn't think the markers were going to last throughout the whole thing, but it did, and I really like the way it came out. This one, I had forgot I had this one. This is Nature. It is from Duncan Smith. What I like about these pictures is they're fairly simple. They're not very detailed. This one I used Crayola pencils. I like to use my Crayola pencils in this book. That way I don't use up a lot of the more expensive markers. But then I decided that my very first set of color pencils that I ever owned when I decided to get into adult coloring was the Crazy Art colored pencils. I didn't want to spend a lot of money, and I think at the time the Walmart that I got them had a 72 set, where they didn't have the 72 set at the time of the Crayola. So I decided to get the Crazy Art because it had more pens and they were cheaper. And I used them for the longest time until I started building up all my pencil inventory. And I hadn't touched them in maybe 2-3 years, and I decided to get them out and use them. This is a 24 color palette. So what I did was I picked out the 24 colors that I wanted to use, and I decided I'm going to do this rest of this book with the Cali Arts just so I can use them. And I really think they came out pretty good. This is Sunflower Page. And here. And this beautiful cat. So yeah, I like those. And I'll probably be doing more out of those this next month. This is Party Patterns by the Belba family. This is also one of my 10 books to finish. I'm using my Cali Art water-based fine tip dual. It's a dual. It's got a brush and a fine tip. I'm using the fine tip to do the X's for the background, and I'm using the brush tip to do the dot method for the pattern. This is the New Year pattern, and this is the Cocktail Party. These are the two that I designated to do in the month of January. Next we have Secret Garden by Ava Brown. I did this beautiful picture. I used the Faber-Castell oil pastels for the grass, the rocks, and this background. And then I used Sharpie and Shuttle Art permanent markers for the other stuff. Next is Secret Village 2 from Ava Brown. I did this picture. I used Crayola pencils. I like the way it came out. I tried to do fancy job here with this, doing blending, and it didn't come out very well, but I still like it. Had fun. That's that. Next is Secret Village Main Street by Ava Brown. This one was another one that I was inspired by that red and gray combo. That's how I did this building, and I'm liking this one a lot more than I like the other one. I like the way that the yellow just pops out. I decided to do the dresses in yellow and green, sort of like if she's doing them for a collection, or maybe one person wanted a wardrobe of a certain color. I thought maybe that's what she was sewing, so I did that with those colors. Then this one is Sweet and Simple, Whimsy Girls, Mermaids and More to Color. And I was watching somebody, I don't remember who it was, where they were coloring out of Enchanted Faces, and they were coloring out of the miniature version of that, the pocket sized. And I got the idea to do the same thing that I did with my, when I colored the Advent calendar, and I put 2 pictures on 1 page. And I really love the way this came out. They made them more pocket size, easier to color, and I really wanted to do more pictures out of here, and I might do a few more, but unfortunately the lines are so dark in this book that I would waste a lot of ink. Not to mention sometimes it smears because my ink that I use is not water resistant, so I probably won't be able to do too many more. But I did hear she was coming out with a more simplified version of this book, which I may get because I really like it. But this girl here I did with Spree Copics Shuttle Art and A&A Arts, and I used a little bit of Uniball for the dress. And her I did with Copics and Spree markers, and a little bit of Uniball back here for the trees in the water. This one, I'll show you her first. I really love that one. I did her with Spree, Copics, and Arts, and eyeshadow background. This one I use Spree, Copics, Arts, and eyeshadow background. Same thing. And then we had this one I used Shuttle Art, Spree, and Sparkle Pops with an eyeshadow background. And her I used Spree, Shuttle Arts, and the Flare. So that's that. If you can hear a truck in the background, I apologize. I don't know why there's a truck next door at this time of day, but I'm almost done and I don't want to stop and refilm. So here we go, last one. Year in Flowers by Jessica Mazurkowitz. It is my last of my 10 books to finish. I did this cover page with Arteza. No, sorry, Magic Fly. Not really happy with the way it worked on this paper. It's okay. I did this one. I used Prismacolor. I like it the way it came out. I did look up carnations, and I saw one that was similar to this color. I really liked it, so I did one like that. And these snowdrops are supposed to be white, but I added the green because I just didn't want to do white flowers, and I really liked the way that came out. And the last picture that I did is Arteza, and I just did a little bit of eyeshadow background here, and that's it. I want to thank everyone for stopping by again. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great upcoming week. Live long in color, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.